Okay, so part two. So on this one, we'll see the actual three protocols that we'll talk in a few more resources that I'll recommend. So the three ones that we're going to be talking is biological agent, chemical agent, and radioactive agents. And so here is a page from the book, and basically it's indicative of possible biological incidents. And so if you see an unusual number of sick or dying people or animal, unscheduled unusual aerial spraying, or abandoned spray device, then it could be a way of transmitting. And so those would be kind of big red flags that there's something going on. So then yeah, you would have like your flags kind of going on. So here's the protocol or how to treat those things. So the unidentified biological agents, and again I recommend that you buy the book. It goes way more into details, but basically wash your hands frequently, again, so you don't want to put it in your mouth. Mask a wet fabric so that things doesn't get into either your face or your nose. Turn on ventilation because you don't want to bring that stuff out inside. Remove your clothes and put them in double bag. And removing your clothes, a lot of people always think about like the cleaning yourself and the mask and stuff, but if you have something on you and the deposit biological, so if somebody cough on you or something and you clean off those clothes, that's about 80% of all the component of that is going to make you sick that is on your clothes. So by taking your clothes, your skin is protected by your clothes or what you're wearing. So that's why like having those ponchos stuff, so that means I can throw those ponchos, and if I didn't have time to put it before, then I can change my clothes as well. The reason for the double bagging is that if you think about it, so I take my clothes, put it in the bag, I touch the bag, so the bag is contaminated. And sadly, sometime again by transmission, is that means like if I would take this bag to either get rid of it or something, I could touch the outside of the bag. But by double bagging it, there's less chance, one, that it rupture, so that whatever is contaminated, because that's very concentrated now. So if you had all this on your clothes and that's 80% of the stuff that's outside, now it's in your bag, and you open that bag, now you have a very small area that could have taken all those toxic fumes or whatever you've been contaminated with. And so by double bagging, first it makes it more secure, but also is that now there's not as much of a chance for you to be contaminated, because the bag that you put inside the first one has a lot of contaminated. You take off your glove and then you close the outside. So that's one of the wash your body, so to remove like the rest of the 20% that you didn't have when you took off your clothes. And again, when you take off your clothes, you don't like shake them because you're spreading all that stuff, so you're very careful about how you take it off. Like you go very smooth, you don't just like rip it off, because now you're spreading all that stuff. So you're very careful when you take off your clothes. Keep your distance from anyone that seems to be sick. That kind of goes without saying. And clean surface, 1 part bleach, 9 parts water. So that's what he was recommending pretty much through the book. So if you have regular bleach at home and it's still pretty good, mix that in a spray bottle or whatever low content, and that should kill pretty much everything else that you have. Vaccine can help prevention. So if you have like if measles and flu and things like that, vaccine can help. Don't take antibiotics as a preventive measure. What it means by that is that unless like your people just don't pop pills because you saw like, oh my god, there's tons of animals, because first you need to identify what it is, and right now there's a lot of unknown. It could be a viral thing, and now you just took all your antibiotics because you thought it was an infection, but it's a virus. So basically you just took your antibiotics for nothing. And create an isolation room and follow proper precaution. By proper precaution, I mean that. And when I go through this decon kit there, I'll explain a little bit more about that card that I have inside there. And we talk about that. There's contact isolation, droplet isolation, and airborne isolation. So this is what I mean by a proper precaution. So for example, measles is airborne, but flu is only droplets. So you don't need to wear the big N95 if you go with someone with the flu, but you need something to protect in case those droplet comes to you. Ebola was different things, but it was more a droplet, but droplet contact and very high contact because a small particle could touch you. So actually they create his own little protection for just that one, the different protocols. Here different animals that can deliver different, so for example, anthrax, and this one is viral hemorrhage fevers, and the disease, the family, how you can catch it, person to person, the exposure time. So as you can see, the book, it's more to show you that the book is very well written and stuff. So the next one that we're going to talk about is now the chemicals approach. So that was just for biological, so either a biological attack or a pandemic. So an influenza pandemic, it would be the same thing. When it comes to chemical, I would recommend that you purchase this book. I did the course, I did the advanced one, so the BHLS, and it was very well done. And again, you can see here, we started lesson 6, toxidrome and toxicodynamic. And you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 5 more. And those ones, it's exactly the same thing as I showed you before. And this is why I wanted to mention toxidromes. Is that if you learn those 5, irritant gas, anaphylaxin, cholinergic, corrosive, and hydrocarbons and halogenated, they all have the same. So I don't care about what kind of plane or like a train, just spills his stuff out and people get sick. If they have certain kind of reaction or certain kind of symptoms, I treat according to what the toxidrome shows me. So that's why I recommend to buy that book, and I'll have link and stuff. When it comes to this one, we'll do kind of a parenthesis. Riot control agents, and there'll be 2 links where I found this stuff. But one thing that you should have in your kits, especially like carry-on kits, is vinegar and antacid tablets like TUMS. And it's because it works on some of the tear gas and other riot control agents, and most likely if things start to go bad out there, this is the kind of stuff that you'll need. And so you'll have the links on where I found that information and stuff, and it comes from another book that I read also before. So while we're talking about TUMS, and we're talking about chemicals, hydrofluoric acid burns, it can be used as well for that. I don't know if it would work fully because here they talk about calcium gluconate, but TUMS is mainly calcium, and it does have a little bit of that magnesium hydroxide, so the preparation and the stuff, and so it could work. I mean, here they say if you don't have calcium gluconate, to use some antacid preparation, so that TUMS could be used as well for hydrofluoric acid burns. I don't know if it would be if it would work, but obviously worth to try. So basically I have just a little roll of TUMS for the benefits of it and the weight that it has. It has a place in your kits. Early indication for chemical agent exposure. So here again the symptoms and odor, and as you see a lot of them colorless, odorless, so you don't know. There's just like you're starting to see people either they start falling down, they have symptoms, they start vomiting, they have like a whole bunch of stuff. Some of them, like mustard gas, has like mustard or onion smell, but a lot of time there's none. And so basically it would be, this is why those protocols are, it's more like the unknown. So and there's a more list over here, but obviously if you see a big cloud of smoke, colored smoke, or any kind of stuff, and see people coughing and everything, run the other way around, like greenish or yellow or any color that's come towards you, because most likely those are things that has been like they're chemical agents. So the unidentified chemical agent leave the area. That's pretty much a big one. It's not like the flu or whatever. You don't try to get close to people because it's people that but this is more like a it will be propagated like a little bit like a smoke or something like this. So it'll be carried by the wind, so it'll be like in the environment. So don't touch any suspicious substance. So if you see like any deposit or things like that, don't forget to go against the wind. So obviously if you have like that smoke coming and you go straight there and the wind is kind of pushing it towards you, you're going to go toward it. So if the wind comes this way, you want to go the other way around, uphill as well, because as smoke will kind of, a lot of those products already they lay down, and so if you go higher up, it won't raise up because they're too heavy, and so they'll low down. So basically you don't want to go downhill, you want to go uphill and against the wind. Cover your mouth and nose, take clothes off again, and this time take 10 to 15 minutes to really like shower and clean. And find a room that is above the ground, again because of the heaviness of the product, and has no windows, because as much as you try to close it and make sure that nothing comes in, there's still, I mean, our house, that's why we're, don't suffocate like those little flies or stuff that we found in down our corners, is that there's air that comes in. Well, now if you have a smoke and things that can come in, you try and turn off your ventilation. So this is also other stuff that could show you, but this time now we are in the radioactive products. So unusual metal debris, radiation symbols. So if you see, for example, a train derail and there's like radioactive stuff on it, then obviously try to go away. Glowing material, solid, unusual number of sick or dying people or vegetables. So as you see, like, trees are losing their leaves or something like that. There's something going on there. So awareness is a big one. So in radioactive, really it's time, distance, and shielding. So it depends on what kind of radioactive stuff there is, but because it's unidentified, we don't know exactly. Some of them, just a small amount of clothes will block it, but some of they're too powerful. So, but if you want to try to run away from it, so at least having the poncho again, the settlement or the radioactive stuff will go, and then you try to, so if you're outside, obviously you want to be inside, and if you're inside, you're going to try to go to as deep as you can inside, or the room that has the most wall and no window in between you and the exterior. So your basement would be the best place, but if you have another room, like for example here I do not have a basement, but I have a place where it's like the pantry, there's no windows, it's dark, it's pretty much in the middle of the apartment, so that would be another one. Wash with soap, and again double bag all your stuff and you have talking about. So this is the presentation, so hopefully you learned some stuff, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. And like I said, I'll do more videos. There's 2 more videos on the 2 kits. So this is my portable kit that goes into my 3-day plus kit, and then I have another one for my 3-month kit, and I'll be doing those pretty soon, so I'll talk to you soon.